Welcome to Last Week in Warframe, a series where I keep you updated on the past week of Warframe by compiling all DE news, posts, and announcements from the Warframe subreddit, forums, Twitter, and even their live streams. And of course, external sources. So without further ado, let's go over these announcements and news from the 22nd of September to the 1st of October. First off, the 5th episode of Nightwave Series 2 has gone live for all platforms, and that does conclude the season's story with Arlo. A new boss has also entered the game on all platforms with that, and you can access the encounter by completing 3 Infested Corpus Outbreak missions on the star chart, and upon completion of the 3rd mission, you will receive a Zealot code via an inbox message. The code can be used to enter the encounter by going to a Emissary Derelict and going for the Assassinate node. You'll only be able to use 2 of these codes per day. Now I won't spoil the fight here, but the boss does drop parts for a new weapon, the Pathicist, which is an infested glaive. The parts for the weapon have a guaranteed chance to drop, but they all share the same drop percentage of 33.33%, so you'll either be lucky or shit out of luck. DE has also announced that this boss will remain in-game after Series 2 concludes on the 13th of October. The boss won't be an assassin-like unit similar to the Wolf of Saturn 6, and instead it will have a permanent node. Next up, Hotfix 25.7.7 went live on PC that launched numerous skins as a part of the TennoGen Round 17 release. A full list of the cosmetics has been displayed on screen, and as a reminder, you will need to launch the game through Steam and use Steam credit for the skins to be displayed and purchased. Also to add, the patch notes stated that the lack of accent channel tint on the Saren Ion skin was at the request of the creator of the skin, and therefore is not a bug. This hotfix has also provided information on changes made to Deathcube's mod Vaporize, which had been done in update 25.7, but we're getting the information now, so that follows. Vaporize's base damage of 600 now multiplies with mods equipped to your Sentinel's gun. They've increased Vaporize's max range to 30 meters from 4 meters, decreased the cooldown to 10 seconds from 30 seconds. Vaporize now has a punch through and can hit multiple enemies at once, and they also updated the effects of Vaporize. The Disruption game type also had changes where they reduced the minimum range at which Demolist markers hide when close to the player to 5 meters, which was previously 8 meters, and they fixed the red visual marker hint for Demolist not appearing in the Gas City. The Norg Mask, Mother's Mask, and Grineer Mask now have a higher chance of appearing in Nikak's store. Sentinel Ribbons will no longer have the with an active pet requirement. DE have noted that any existing ribbon with this requirement has been changed to the without dying or becoming downed requirements. They've also removed reflection textures from operator heads to reduce shininess. Revenant's Reeve ability is now an upper body animation only. They've increased the Glaive's radial audio sound so its bouncing can be heard, and they updated the Nightwave Silent Eliminator Axe description to clarify the minimum enemy difficulty level must be 30+. As for the fixes and optimizations in this hotfix, they have been displayed on your screen right now. After that, PC players also received 25.7.8, where they fixed the game crashing if it fails to synchronize your inbox on login. They changed airborne resistance from mods, so it is now capped at 90% to prevent stacking past 100% in some cases. They also made the following Nightwave changes and fixes as well as the fixes to the overall game. Emissary boss rewards will now only be revealed at the end of the mission screen to prevent players aborting the mission if you didn't receive the part you wanted. They lowered the Zealoid Prelate and Zealoid Bastion Codex scans from 30 to 3, removed Zealot Prelate and Zealot Bastion from the Simulacrum due to breaking functionality, and they fixed Zealot Prelate walking in place if it was killed without picking up Arlo's Flame. They fixed the Arcane Blade Charger displaying the damage increase factor as 2% instead of the 200%. They fixed the Norg Mask and Mother Mask having a temporary price of 1 credit, cloth physics on both the Wisp Grax helmet and Wisp Damas helmet, the Ash Ryuga helmet missing its ponytail cloth, the Gara Rowan helmet stating the incorrect creator name in the description, the Jotunheim Oculus, Convolist Oculus, and Neuralist Oculus not applying chosen energy color, the email lock icon pulsing in your chosen UI theme colors, and missing localization for aim glide and latch duration in the aerodynamic mod. For console players, that being PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch users, alongside the release of Nightwave Series 2's final episode and the boss fight, you had 2 hotfixes that fixed the inability to preview unowned Warframe skins, the Norg mask and Mother mask having a price of 1 credit. Emissary boss rewards will now only be revealed at the end of the mission screen to prevent aborting the mission if you didn't receive the part you wanted. They lowered the Zealoid Prelate and Zealoid Bastion Codex scans to 3, removed the Zealoid Prelate and Zealoid Bastion from the simulacrum due to it breaking functionality, and they fixed the Prelate walking in place if it's killed without picking up Arlo's lantern. The next dev stream will be on the 4th of October and will discuss, cover, or show Vauban's rework and Ember's rework. Rebecca had also said that there was, quote, cool animation stuff being worked on for Ember on her livestream throughout the week, and that it will be shown in that dev stream. Atlas Prime Access will also be launching on the 1st of October, and he will be coming with primed rumblers as seen on screen, and they will be color customizable via your Warframe's colors, as shown by Rebecca on Twitter. Alongside Atlas Prime will be Deathcube Prime, the Techo Prime, the Death Machine Prime Sentinel weapon, the Massive Prime Cyan Dana, the Orcus Prime Sentinel accessories, a 90-day credit and affinity booster, and the controversial 7-day mod drop chance booster. I'll go through the timeline for the controversy and conclusion after the rest of the information for this week has been given, but yeah, for now we continue. In a post on the forums, a player highlighted the pain of stopping Umbra during the Sacrifice quest when using the weak moat amp, and Rebecca had responded, "We can check some stats on this as well to see the quit rates in the fight versus amp level, it's probably worth reviewing." Now the final post before a rundown of the controversy and conclusion occurs was from Rebecca on Twitter, stating that almost all Warframe's bosses will be receiving the same health bar as the Nightwave Series 2 boss, saying, "It's awesome and coming to almost all bosses that support it, persistent health, etc." Now for those that don't care about the controversy or are caught up already, I will be releasing a video with the launch of Atlas's Prime Access with the information from DE's final post about a revert to the changes, but timestamps like usual are in the description if you want to skip this Warframe history-like rundown to the past couple of days. Because why not share a couple of the community's responses to the booster so you can understand DE's final response a bit clearer. So let us begin. To make it pretty short, when Atlas's Prime Access forum page went live, DE had only provided us with the information that it would include a 7-day mod drop chance booster. Players started to share their concerns with the addition of the booster, so the following is a Twitter thread from myself where I hope to compile the varying complaints players had in regards to the booster because it wasn't just one specific reason. So it read, "I've read a lot of comments about it since I got back, and there are varying reasons why people are annoyed, but most seem to agree with each other on one. That it looks and feels like DE have taken out a stapled synergy of the game and are now selling it back to us via the booster. This comes from the complete silence after DE said the following during a dev stream in May in regards to the farming synergy nerf that occurred in Update 25 of Jovian Concord, that originally had no explanation.
So at New Hairstyle, please explain in detail why the Necros, Hydroid, Korra, and looting interaction was suddenly nerfed despite being in-game for years." So that's the first question. So I think that is the trickiest part about having a 7-year game, is something that has been in the game for so long to decide it's a bug and then change it. So if we go into like our message archives, there's a lot of, but it's been in the game for so long, we should just leave it. And typically we do. And this is one of the cases where we didn't because of the Chessa changes with the double dipping.
Yep.
It was basically decided that the Chessa loot shouldn't be able to loot a body that's already been looted.
That's right.
And then someone noticed, well, all loot powers, to a degree, do that.
Double loot.
Yes, from a body. So single corpse, you can get 2 loot rolls from it. That's no longer the case. So are we going to roll it back? If not, are we going to be changing some other things just to do the hug kick mentality? What are our thoughts on this?
You're using the raw internal lingo.
I know.
The hug and kick. It doesn't really sound so pleasant.
Welcome to dev streams, where things are pleasant.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Scott and I were talking about it yesterday as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
know.
I can see him smacking his lips here.
I know, wishing he had a beer
Wishing he had a beer.
instead of a coffee.
I would say I don't know if you're going to get a strict rollback, but we're going to look at it more closely. You have been heard, and we do take it seriously. I don't think we're going to improv the solution on the stream here right now.
Great.
So
Yeah, people don't like when I do that.
we don't like when Scott does that.
All right.
Also, I think reasons for that would be we don't like when people are pushed into a corner for what type of loadout to optimize too much. We'd like people to have more choices in the game, and that's generally where the spirit of nerfs and fixing old bugs comes from.
Yep.
So that is why we do these insane things and piss you guys off. But we'll definitely look at it again. And rather than letting something get so many kicks at the can, is it better to kind of rise all boats or something like that?
There might be something there.
Yeah.
Players mostly agree that the optics made it look as if DE's solution to the nerf is to sell the solution back to us via the market or Barrow, which is scummy. Others dislike the booster due to player feedback on already low mod drop percentages on a single limited unit type, such as the most discussed condition overload seemingly being ignored. The booster would fix it, although barely, as shared via the highlighted post which is up on your screen, basically making 0.2% into 0.4%. It is an improvement, but it's minimal. Players have also shared that the addition of the mod drop booster will give DE a pass on lowering drop rates further in the future as an incentive for purchase. These users have referenced mutagen sample and Kuva acquisition without a resource booster as grounds for their fear. Now, a number of players have also shared that they believe a mod drop booster could be close to pay to win, as Warframe heavily relies on mods to support yourself. They also shared that it baits players into purchase without a guarantee of the mod they want, thus wasting their platinum, unlike resources or affinity. Initially, players had also commented on the exclusivity of the booster, as it was displayed first and only in the Prime Accessories pack, and they wondered if it would be available for Platinum or via vendors like Barrow, and even then, if it was in Barrow, it would only verify the booster's existence. Rebecca had initially responded to those concerns, saying, "Yep, introduce it in other ways for sure, first access in Prime Access, though maybe Barrow will bring it on a visit, maybe a Nightwave reward, or refresh sortie rewards." And she also shared the information via a Reddit reply where she had also assured players the booster would not dictate drop rates, where she said, "They won't be Prime Access exclusive, technically timed, but you will see them enter Warframe Rewards ecosystem while the Prime Access is live. It definitely sucks that Scummy is a first impression though, but based on the single liner info, I don't blame you. It's a free bonus, it will be added elsewhere as a reward, and by no accounts does it exist to set a path for reducing drop rates elsewhere, or conversely not increase them." A few players had pointed out in regards to that statement that while it is a bonus to Prime Access based on the normal items, it is in no ways a free booster, as players will still need to purchase the accessories pack to use it. In a later post, Rebecca updated players that the booster would be made available via Sorties and Barrow upon launch, saying, quote, "So here we are again releasing them for real to spice up Prime Access, but also adding to Sorties and Barrow to refresh their appeal. They will be in Sorties on launch now and Barrow from time to time." Rebecca had also gone into how the booster will boost your chances of getting a mod and why they added the booster to the accessories pack alongside the two prior boosters, saying, quote, "This is a slow and experimental change to our tried and true Prime Access formula that doesn't disrupt the existing prices, but gives those who support us first access to something new in the program. It's a bonus 7-day mod drop chance, which doubles a given enemy's chance at dropping a mod, i.e. kill a unit with a 20% chance, expect that to double. A lot of feedback has been swap out the boosters, so instead of completely swapping, we're just adding a bonus for now, and a new type at that. Hoping to see Resource enter the formula as well later on, but one step at a time." Another response in regards to the booster was where she notified players that the mod drop chance booster was added to the game in 2013, but was not released. Her post said, quote, "We added mod drop boosters to the game in 2013 with the intention of releasing them, and never did. This very raw dev screenshot shows their creation in our 16th revision of the boosters data file in October of 2013. In August of 2018, we also intended to release them with Twitch drops as a new rewarding 30-minute batches, but the shaky tech held them back. So here we are again releasing them for real to spice up Prime Access, but also adding to Sorties and Barrow to refresh their appeal. They will be in Sorties on launch now and Barrow from time to time. I'm presenting these facts just so everyone is on the same page as to their history and long-term timing, and I apologize for the distress they caused since yesterday's announcement." Now, while the post provided a timeline for players of when DE initially worked on the boosters, the post itself sharing the information has not been received well. The post as of writing has 0 points and has been live for 4 days as of writing tweet, but the most popular response has 95 points. So there's a little comparison with a few user responses. Now, I will include a few of the responses to this post because I do find it quite telling and interesting. Quote, as you can see, lots of people are still fuming at the quote-unquote farming nerf. Is there anything else going to be said or done about that change? There's people, including me, opposed to them in principle. There already are mods with dreadful drop rates. The general fear is that there will be it's fine, they can always buy a booster feeling towards those rates from the dev squad. There's already a feeling that some new resources have had terrible drop rates because of the boosters. Quote, farming it is painful if you don't have a booster or two, end quote, is a common sentence around here. I understand that you're trying to clear up that this wasn't a 1 to 2 planned process of nerfing the loot mechanics and then introducing paid mod drop boosters, but that doesn't matter. What matters is what happened, and what happened was you guys nerfed loot mechanics and then introduced paid mod drop boosters. The boosters themselves are rather shit and a terrible idea. Ultimately, I don't care how it was planned. Now, after Rebecca's post was live, 2 booster posts made their way to the front page of the Warframe Reddit. Not saying the other posts didn't, but these were after the final comments were made at the time. Now, these were jokes on the mod drop booster, and it did continue to show that the community wasn't happy. Those being Mutagen drop chance booster and the Nightwave Season 2 good story ending booster. Rebecca wasn't the only person to reply. Steve had also responded to a question about the booster on Twitter, with his thread started via a player tweeting, seriously guys, don't go down this route. Don't release this mod chance booster. It's a gameplay affecting microtransaction and it's scummy. You will lose a lot of community goodwill if you continue down this road. You once told us that when considering microtransactions, you would ask yourselves whether it felt icky, and if it did, you wouldn't add it. Don't betray those words. Cut the mod booster stuff out. Focus on consistent content. I know I'm only one person in a massive community, a small fry, but if you go down this path, I won't stick around to watch you fall. Where Steve replied, this is a booster like others and available in free ways as well. Why the apocalyptic rhetoric? To which the user responded, my apologies for the rhetoric. It was indeed uncalled for, and I have a tendency towards melodrama. I was not aware that this mod booster was available for free. I was under the assumption that it was sealed behind a paywall and it set dangerous precedent. Sorry for the vitriol. Where Steve finished the thread, no prob, we probably didn't communicate it well. With all that said and done, on the 1st of October, Australian time, Rebecca released a tweet linking to a forum post titled, The Mod Booster and Free to Play. Now her tweet said, if you have questions about the latest mod drop booster plus free path, here's a post explaining how it works and what we've changed. Too long don't read, Mod Booster has free paths. Loot frames will stack again, future of Mod Booster overall, to be determined. As for the full forum post, to finish the video, it said, hello all. This post will be long, so get comfortable. It will have 3 parts discussing the mod drop chance booster, the free paths, and the loot frames. It will cover the issues that some players raised about a correlation of releasing a mod booster after adjusting loot frame ability stacking earlier this year, which removed getting loot from the same corpse multiple times. No fluff, just facts. Let's begin. The mod drop booster has existed in Warframe's dev build for 6 years. We originally had plans to release it with other boosters, then Twitch drops. As Prime Access continues, many players have requested more diversity in the boosters added. We started planning the addition of bonus boosters with Atlas Prime Access, without changing the established pricing structure. The first bonus being a 7-day mod drop chance booster, which doubles a killed enemy's chance to drop a mod. Its existence is no way associated with loot frame abilities. Part 1, the mod drop chance booster. The first mistake, players only hearing about it on a news article subline. It's been years since we've released a new booster, and finding out about one in a single sentence was the wrong kind of surprise. Part 2, the free paths. The second mistake, not committing to and clarifying the free availability. Having a free path is an important part of the new premium gameplay content, and this booster will have a free path. When this mod drop booster launches with Prime Access, it will also be available for free. Sortie booster rewards are being refreshed to include a 3-day version, and Barracuteer is adding the 3-day version to his offerings over several visits during Atlas Prime Access. The mod drop chance existence matches the design of the resource drop chance booster, and it's a category expansion. But since the announcement of the mod drop booster, the worst case scenario in players' minds has emerged. What if they are releasing this as a paid fix to the removal of looting abilities double dipping with corpses? This simply isn't the case, but it's the perception that matters. Part 3. The loot frames. The third mistake, not providing closure on the loot frame changes from the Jovian Concord. We are restoring the loot mechanics to what they were before the Jovian Concord. Warframe loot abilities will be able to yield multiple drops from already looted corpses. Looting abilities serve a very singular purpose, to loot, and when they all stack on the same corpse, they become the only chance for loot seekers. This puts players in a position of deciding whether or not to bring frames that have the best looting abilities rather than anything else. Our intention with the change were to alleviate that, but ultimately we are reverting it in an attempt to eliminate bad will that these two items are related in any way. We'd rather make a decision that possibly lessens choice but respects precedent, than have players think the choice was related to a new booster and actions speak louder than words. We are aiming to get this in on all platforms by tomorrow. The conclusion. TLDR at the bottom. The mod booster will be offered for the Atlas Prime access period due to how synchronized platform store releases are handled. During this time, you'll be able to acquire it through select Barracuda visits or sortie rewards. The Atlas Prime access booster lasts 7 days and can only be bought once. With Barrow and Sorties, a free player should be able to get equal access to that offering during the duration of the Atlas Prime access. The future of the mod booster will be decided as Atlas Prime access comes to an end. Decisions related to drops and monetization of our free-to-play design aren't easy, and we have a long history of trying to find a fair balance. In this case, there's mixed reactions and fear. While the players concerned with the Warframe abilities may find this resolution a win, those who have moved the conversation to DE will balance mods around this booster will have to trust that this simply won't happen. We've worked hard over 7 years to provide free content, and we will continue to do so. TLDR, the mod booster will also be available free in sorties and on Barracuda. Warframe loot abilities will again be able to yield multiple drops from already looted corpses. Now there are more comments and questions about that DE response, and of course the mod drop booster, but for now, since DE has yet to comment on any of those, and since this video was recorded straight after, there's nothing more to add. So with that said and done, this concludes this episode of Last Week in Warframe.